go. Hello, my name is Benjamin. I'm doing the follow along today with you for the Trainer Test Certificate 21 with Joseph Bartz, and I focus today on our feet and also on the ankles, and you just follow my instructions and we can start straight away. So first of all, what we are starting with today is with 3 points I want to show you on the sole of the foot, which is the point on the heel, and then also the base of the big toe, which is around about this little dot here, and then the base of the small toe, which is around about here. So it's kind of a tripod if you see it, if you look at it like this, and we try to connect our feet with the floor. I choose the carpet today because it's soft, and some of the exercises can be quite intense if you doing it on a hard floor. So if you're experienced, you can also do it on a hard floor, but if you haven't done it before, I would highly recommend to use a soft carpet or even a mat or something like this, a yoga mat. So this is more gentle for your feet, for your toes then. So after we build a connection with those 3 dots, I can really feel, I can sense that those 3 points on my feet touching the floor, the carpet. I also point out my feet in the direction. When you imagine a clock, then my left foot would point towards the 11, and my right foot would point towards 5 past. So it's like 5 past 11. This is the position of my feet. Secondly, knees a little bit bent, pelvis is neutral, and the lower back is pretty relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, and I also close my eyes for a minute and just try to feel the connection with the floor, with those 3 dots, and I can feel that there's a stable connection. I can feel how gravity is pulling down towards those spots on my feet, but I feel also very stable as my body is aligned with gravity, which is pulling me down, and it doesn't cost lots of energy to just stand here like this. So let's just focus for a couple of seconds. Alright, and then open your eyes, come back, and we are starting with the first exercise. As I said, we focus on the feet. We start with pulling up the big toe. So if you haven't done it before, it's quite interesting. You try to pull up your big toe and let it go for about 20 times. I'm terrible at counting, so just count for yourself. If I don't do 20, if I do more, you just do your 20. You can vary by doing one after the other, or you can even do both. But if you pull up the big toes, make sure that the small toes are staying in connection with the floor, with the carpet, with the underground, and they are not going to come up. So only the big toe is going up and down. If nothing happens, or all the toes are trying to come up at the same time, I can highly recommend to just give it a little bit resistance, push with your fingertip on your toe, and that makes it already more sensitive, and then you can feel which muscles you have to activate to bring up the big toe, or also push down the small toes a little bit and then activating the big toe. So choose your level which is suitable for you, and then go for 20 times each big toe. Nice. After that, we leave the big toe on the floor. We are just pulling up the small toes. pulling them up. I do now both feet at the same time, pulling them up. I also spread them out a little bit, especially the small toe. I really widen up the space between the toes. And I try to leave the big toe on the floor without using too much energy. So I don't press it hard in the floor. It can help in the beginning to just press them down really hard and pull up the small toes. But if you have already a good feeling for this movement, then you can also let go and try to be pretty relaxed in the muscles around your big toe. Okay, as I said, my counting is terrible. I guess I have already 20, so I'm fine with that. And we continue with pulling up the left big toe, letting go, pulling up the small toes on the right foot for about 10 times. So this is quite interesting. If your toes are really following what you want to do with them. It's funny to find out if they do that. If they don't do, continue to exercise, pulling the big toe, pulling the small toes, and then obviously change to the other side. So right foot, big toe, left foot, small toes. Chuck, 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 chuck. Yeah, it can be quite challenging, but it's also fun to try out if you can control your muscles in your feet like that. And then after about 10 times, I try to play the piano, which is like I'm starting with the right foot, I'm pulling up the big toe and then trying to let go one after the other of the small toes, big toe, and then one after the other of the small toes. Also for about 10 times, or you can also do it for about 30 seconds. Just trying it out, if it works, if they really come off one after the other, one after the other. Nice. And then the other foot as well. Zack. I'm trying to slow down a little bit right now because that makes it a bit more clear that really the big toe is leaving the floor firstly and then the others are following. Nice. 3 or 4 more times. Whoop. Yeah. Like speed really makes the quality here. If I do it too fast, they're not going one after the other. They're almost going all at the same time. All right, last time. And shake it off for a little bit. Now we do a little stretch. I show this from the side. I fold my big toe and pull up my heel, and then I fold it. I spread out my small toes and I fold the big toe, and then I press down slowly my heel. So you can really tell that there's a big stretch going on here in the big toe. I highly recommend to cut your nails before that. Now it's too late. Now you can't do it anymore. Now you have to bear the pain that you feel and keep going, pushing. Don't push too hard, so you can really play with the weight which you load on the toe. It's quite intense, especially here. Using a mat can be very nice. On hard floor is very different then. And yeah, then we change. We spread out the big toe and pull in the small toes. I show this from the other side. It's possibly better to see. And then I do the same. Here you can really see that my heel is going down way more down to the floor. So it's bit easier to stretch them out. Pressing down. Yeah, 20 times, or like around about 30 seconds. It's nice. And then changing to the other foot as well, starting with the big one and going down, pushing slowly in the beginning, doing it easy, and you can really feel that stretch. Nice. And then we also do this with the small toes, spreading out the big one, so the big toe is showing in front. And you can also go different lines, so you can bring the heel to the outside a little bit more, or to the inside, so you can really play a little bit around with different lines which you want to go in that stretch here. My small toe wants to escape, but I have to bring him back in. I use only my fingers to just bring him in, and pushing down, and let it go. Okay, very nice. So next thing we do is we go in a kneeling position where my heel is up and my toes are stretched, and we do this quite actively now. Now I fold my toes and I bring the weight of my upper body back on my toes. So you can really sit back on your heels with all your weight and play a little bit around with that stretch, which is more intense if you fold your toes and then bring all the weight down, all your weight down to the heels, so you can really press them down if you feel comfortable with it. Zack. So 2 more times, each direction. Whoop. And so I just stay here for now, for a little bit, for about 30 seconds, just staying here, feeling the stretch. You can also push your knees forwards, so your heels are following, and you can feel that the stretch gets a bit more intense. And then fold the toes, get your weight gently on the heels, and now I try to pull in my feet. Relax in the upper body and just stay here for about 30 seconds and enjoy that nice little stretch. Nice, getting out of it. Okay, next thing we do something for our instep, a new word that I just learned. In German we call it Spann. So I place my foot with folded toes behind the other foot, and then I straighten my knee out and I bring my hip forward. And I can feel now that nice stretch on my instep. Well, also my heel. Yeah, I don't leave the heel behind. I also pull the heel forward. And I just hold it also for about 10 seconds here in this position. Straighten the leg out, pushing the hips forward, and then just change to the other foot as well. Bringing it behind the other one. Folding the toes, straighten the knee, and pushing hip and heel forward. Go in this direction. As you see, I'm totally lost in time and counting. I'm just doing this by feeling right now, but you can also start off easily with 30-second each foot or 20 times doing the movements. Whoosh. And then also hold it here for a little bit, 10 seconds. Pushing heel forward, straighten out knee. Yes, nice. You can really feel that something is going on there. Also play with different lines if you want, so you shift your heel from left to right side, and then you can tell there's a difference in each line. And shaking it off. Very good. Okay. So next thing we do is a kind of a balance thing. I do a one-line balance stand. I have my left foot in front, big toe is touching the heel. I stand here with knees bent and try to relax and shift my weight towards the middle of both feet. So my weight is 50-50 on the left and the right foot. And I just try to stand here in one line and hold it. I also close my eyes as a variation, so it makes it a bit more difficult, and I really have to work with the sensations in my ankles, in my sole of the foot, and really sense how I have to keep working to keep me in balance. It's really nice, really interesting work. You can really tell that something is going on in the muscles around your ankles. And then changing side. So right foot is in front, heel touching toe, and knees bent, pelvis is neutral, arms are relaxed. I also close my eyes. If this is too much for you and you really just move around too much, then better open your eyes and still try to focus on sensations going on in your feet and feel what's going on there. So choose what's your level. Yes, roughly about 30 seconds, and then get back to both feet next to each other. Next thing we do is the one leg stand, one foot stand, however you want to call it. So I make it easy in the beginning. I just lift the left foot and try to keep the leg relaxed. Here you can also just stand on one foot, or as I do, I just close my eyes as well. It makes it a little bit more difficult, and it makes my foot work way more. Yeah, it really has to work now to keep me in balance. You can also tell that there's something going on in your calves and your quads to keep you in balance. Here it's the opposite of what we had before. As more hard the floor is, as easier it is to just stand stable. As softer the floor is, like mat or the carpet, as more it becomes challenging to just stand on one foot. And then change here to the other one and get in balance as well. Close your eyes, or what you could also do is just lift up your head and looking towards the ceiling. So you're using the horizon to orientate, and then again you really have to work with your foot to keep you in balance. And get back to your first foot you work with. Now, firstly we stood still, and now I want to move around. So I stand on my right foot, have those 3 dots that we had in the beginning, that I was showing in the beginning, connected to the floor, so really make a stable stand, and then start to move around with your leg with the other one. So I'm starting off with really small movements here, and then slowly I go a little bit bigger with the movements around, trying to keep myself in balance and going like all directions using the arms. You can do a lot of variations here. You can go with really soft movements, or you can go with really hard movements as well, like kicking, hard swinging, or also do some variations. I just switched to the other one now. Get stable, and you can also start with small movements, and you can do variations with speed as well. So I can do slowly, slow movements, or even really fast movements. Choose your level. I now show how to move a little bit faster, still trying to be in balance, surprising myself with the moves that you do. And now catch up, get back to the floor and relax. So that's for today. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the exercise I showed you, and I hope you enjoyed the follow along. I just say thank you very much and see you next time. Bye bye.